How many of you have seen videos like this? A lot of people struggle with masturbation, but unfortunately, nobody agrees to it. Not for this guy. The guy I'm about to interview right now, he was caught red-handed doing it in his sister's husband's house. It was so embarrassing that he decided he was going to make something beautiful out of this painful experience. So he decided he was going to share his story. And this is his story. Bro, you said you were caught while you were masturbating. Can you tell us how it happened? And how did this habit even start in the first place? Tell us everything.
My name is Winika. I'm from Rivers State, and I was addicted to pornography and masturbation and a host of other addictions for over 8 years, from my early teenage years down into adulthood. This is my story. Yes, I was caught masturbating many times when I was much younger. This is my story. First of all, how this habit all started was I started watching pornography and masturbating at age 14. Yeah, I got introduced to it by two classmates of mine in junior secondary at the time, GSS 3 to be precise. Now, these two boys, one of them snuck a phone into school, and me, out of curiosity to go and see what they were doing with the phone, I went, and it happened that they were watching pornography on the phone. And that's how I know I first got introduced to pornography. Now, those two boys, I actually still do remember their names. I'm not in touch with them, I've not spoken to them in ages, in years, but I still remember their names, their full names. I still remember their faces, but I don't hold anything against anybody. But the thing is that after my junior secondary, because then me and my parents, we were living in Aba. So after my junior secondary, we relocated back to my home state of Rivers State. So I had to start a new school. I started my senior secondary in a new school. And it just happened that in my new school, my direct seatmate was also heavily involved in pornography. Now, this guy, at the time, I think he was working at a cyber cafe, and there's a laptop that he used to take to work. Sometimes after school, he'll just go there, go to work. And it just happened that this boy, he used to store all the pornography on that laptop. So sometimes when he brought the laptop to school, he would just go open the laptop, start to watch pornography. And yes, that's how I really got sucked in deep into this habit of pornography and masturbation. Now, while I was still coming up in my teenage years, I got caught many times masturbating, so many times that I can't even remember, many of them, but there are a few ones that really stand out for me. One of them is when I was living with my sisters, some of my sisters here, and one of them had an iPad. Was it an iPad or a tablet? Yeah, because at that time I didn't have my own phone, my own smartphone. So what I used to do is I used to use other people's phones to like hide and watch the pornography and do my thing. Then delete the browser history, clear the browser history. Now, I took this tablet that belonged to my sister, and I started watching pornography. This was late into the night. I would think maybe, or very early in the morning, very early hours of the morning, maybe 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And I woke up, took the tablet, and started watching pornography. And as it happened, she woke up and saw me with the tablet and asked me, "What am I doing with the tablet?" And I couldn't give a straight answer. But then she snatched it away from me, and she just saw that I was watching pornography on it. Then she alerted some of my other sisters, they beat me, did this one, did their things. And it was embarrassing for me at the time. Because after then, I think she even went to report the matter to, she reported the matter to my parents, yes. and she also went to report the matter to one of my teachers in church, the teenagers church, the teenage department of the church. She went to report the matter to one of the head people there at the church. And I'll say the woman that she reported me to, I mean, I think she actually helped me, yeah, because she helped me with counseling to counsel me on this thing. But it didn't really help. It didn't really help much, because even after the counseling, I'll still go back home and watch pornography. Um, another instance where I know I got caught was when I was staying with another one of my sisters. This one was married, and she was staying with her husband. And okay, she and her husband were in the room, and me now. This was also late in the night. I woke up, went to the parlor, and I took the man's laptop, opened his laptop, and started watching pornography on it. And just as it happened with the first time, the man came out of his room and caught me red-handed in the act, watching pornography and masturbating. I mean, it was not a good sight. It was embarrassing for me, because at that time it was almost like I couldn't make something out of my life again. Everybody saw me like my life was already gone as at that age. They saw me like I couldn't make anything out of my life again, because to be watching pornography and masturbating at that age, it's something that is abnormal. It's something that is out of the normal. So that's how I know that I got introduced to this habit.
So, what are some things that this habit has made you do?
It has made me do many things that I'm particularly not proud of. Some things that even me right now I still regret, and I don't even feel proud talking about them. But one that really stands out is that I got disvirgined, or I had sex for the first time with a woman. Because mind you, I had been masturbating before, but the first time I had sex with a woman was with a prostitute in a brothel. That was the first time that I know I had sex with a woman. So today I don't remember the first person that I had sex with in my life, because of course I had sex with prostitutes many years ago. I can't even remember how long now. And the funny thing, it was also another friend of mine still in school that took me to the brothel. But this one was I was much older than. I think this one was around when I was writing WAEC. Yes, that was when this one happened. It took me to a brothel to have the prostitutes, and I did it, and I came out. So today, it's not something that I'm really proud of, but yeah, it is what it is.
What are some things you've lost because of these habits? Please tell us, because people want to learn from this experience.
The thing about this habit is that the indiscipline that it makes you to be an undisciplined person. You understand? So that indiscipline will give room for a host of other vices. That indiscipline, understand, that indiscipline, it made me to start gambling, also from a very young age, to start smoking from a young age as well. In fact, before I turned 18, turned 18 years, I was already struggling with about 3 major addictions. I was struggling with pornography and masturbation. I was struggling with smoking, and I was struggling with gambling. These 3 major addictions. And these things, it made me lose a lot of things. It made me lose money, made me lose opportunities. It made me lose myself, lose my self-respect. And the thing is, when I started smoking, started with weed, yes. And the thing about weed is that they call it the gateway drug, because once you start using weed, you will definitely want to graduate into using other drugs. So I started with weed, smoking weed for the longest of times. Then I graduated into using smoking ice, and I was addicted to ice. That one is one of the major things that actually derailed my life. You understand? Now, one thing that this ice really cost me is that, okay, I'd gone for NYSC, yeah, and my NYSC, I had just like received. Okay, I had done my NYSC. I was doing my NYSC in another state, in Ebonyi State, to be precise. And at my place of employment, I was actually, I was actually like, I was on leave basically. You understand? So the arrangement I had with the place of people at my employment was that just to come, you know, do a little work, then maybe collect the clearance letter and go for clearance. That was the arrangement then. But then it just happened that due to my addiction with ice, I had collected my alawi for 1 month, and that alawi was what I was supposed to use to travel to the state, Ebonyi State, to handle my clearance. But then, due to this addiction with ice, I used the money I was supposed to use to travel, which was my alawi. I used it to smoke ice, and because of that, I couldn't travel to do the clearance. Now, because of that, it led me to, I missed that clearance, and because of that, I missed that clearance. The next alawi didn't come in, and also because of that, I missed that clearance. I missed the next one after that, and I missed like 3 consecutive, clearances, and that thing made me. It made me to, I was regarded as absconded. Basically, I absconded from the service, from NYC. That's one thing where I know this ice of a thing really, like how it's really derailed me, how it's really something I lost due to this ice addiction. I mean, I couldn't even bring myself to tell my family that this was the reason for me abandoning or absconding from the NYC thing. I couldn't bring myself to tell my family about it. I've struggled with ice, struggled with gambling, struggled with pornography. But the good thing is that to the glory of God, I can say that I am free from every one of these things. The most recent, I was able to stay away from, I've been free from ice for about, let me say, 8 months. Yes, I've been free from pornography for over 2 years now, and I've been free from gambling for a long time, yeah, over like 5 years. Though it's no longer a problem as it used to be for me. Maybe normally once in a while I still maybe play games. Maybe if somebody sends me a game, I can just play it and look away. But it's no longer a problem for me as it used to be some years back. So I've been free from gambling for about, let me say, 4 to 5 years now.
Life is filled with challenges, my brother. You see, these habits, a lot of people struggle with it, but unfortunately, they just can't tell anyone about it. I can't imagine the courage it took you to make a video like this, but I hope that this video goes a long way to help people to recheck their life, because there are people who are struggling with this thing, but they don't even know how to stop it. So what advice do you have for people who are still struggling with this habit?
First of all, I think like there are 2 categories of people that are struggling with this habit. One of them is the people that are struggling with it and admit that they have a problem with it and they are making effort to stop. The other category is the people that are struggling with it, but they are making excuses to rationalize the bad habits. Because probably this habit is one of the worst or one of the strongest addictions to break. This habit of pornography is one of the strongest addictions ever in the world to break. And Maybe some people have tried so many times to stop and they've seen that they cannot stop it. So what they do now is to make excuses to justify or rationalize the bad habits, but it still doesn't make it good. What is bad is bad. So the advice that I have for people who are struggling with this habit is that freedom from this thing is possible. Don't ever believe that lie that they will tell you that you've been into this thing for long, so you cannot come out of it. Me myself, I'm a living testimony. I was deep into pornography and masturbation. I used to masturbate sometimes multiple times a day. But today, to the glory of God, I can say that I am free from it. So freedom is possible from this thing. Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever give up trying to break free from this habit, because your future self will thank you. Your future self will thank you if you can finally break free from this habit and see the world for how it really is, instead of seeing the world from the lens of sex, from the perspective of lust or sex. Seeing the world for how it really is, living how you're normally supposed to live. Your future self will thank you for it. And to those that are still making excuses for it, I would say just continue, because only time will tell. Because when you see yourself masturbating till you're 40 years old and you are still masturbating and you don't have anything to show for it in your life, that's when maybe you come to the realization. Because the point where I am right now in my life is that I'm in the process of rebuilding my life. I've lost so much on opportunities. I've lost, yes, I even lost a scholarship. Yeah, I was on a scholarship while I was in university. I lost a scholarship. So by the time you try to examine your life and you see everything that you've lost, you will come to that realization. And me right now, I'm in the process of rebuilding, so I know that it's going to take a while before I can really start to achieve what I know I should have been achieving, what I know I should have achieved right from my teenage years. So yes, that's it.
All right, bro, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. I pray that this video goes a long way to reach as many people as possible. I hope people come to the realization of what this habit can make people do, and I hope that the experience change. I pray that this interview doesn't go in vain. Of course, people might say something about it. People might leave negative comments, want to make you feel bad for sharing this kind of story. But I pray that the people who are due for change, who are due for a new experience, I really hope that this video comes fresh in their mind, that your words will pierce into their hearts and they'll quit it and never look back again. That's my prayer. So thank you very much for sharing your story on this episode of the Lokido Experience. If you have a similar story that you'd like to share on this platform, please reach out to the phone number or the email address you see on your screen right now. We'll be more than happy to hear your story. And if you're watching for the first time, please subscribe so you don't miss out on our next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and bye.